Okay, good morning everyone. It's Tuesday morning coffee with Shannon. I know I looked a little crazy in that one, didn't I? Might scare you away. I won't do that again. But I am actually having my coffee with you this morning. I gotta quit shaking the table. I apologize for that. I'm in my kitchen and I have this really highly, developed stand here. It's part of my technological abilities. It consists of a drinking cup and my napkin tray. It's holding up my camera. So if I touch the table, it's going to make us shake and look like we're having an earthquake, so I don't want to do that. I think, yeah, it was yesterday. So much has happened in the last 24 hours that I am a little shell-shocked. So it was yesterday. I watched the presentation by Dana Ashley, which if you're interested in watching it and you don't know who she is or how to find her on YouTube, I will post a link for anybody who asks. She's as cute as a little button and she does lots of really good stuff. And I've watched a few of her other programs before, recommended by Derek. And yeah, she's a great researcher. She comes out with wonderful stuff. But this video in particular just struck me. And I was given something, and for the first time since this started, I felt like I was not supposed to say anything just yet. And I talked with some people that I trust, and they sent back the father's information to me, and I just waited. And it was only just a day, but I'm not sure what the pause was about. But I woke up this morning eager and ready to share this with you. And it's going to be a little bit short. I'm working on something a little more in depth. It'll be a bit longer, and I'll probably put that out tomorrow. But this is just about this video. And first of all, if you don't watch it, you probably won't understand this as much. But when you see it, it will tie it all in and make sense. She basically is speaking about this new technology that's coming out, and I'm sure you've heard of it. It's 5G instead of 4G and 3G on our cell phones. She just gives you lots of great information about how damaging and dangerous this high-level radio activity is. And I'm not going to go into the details. You should watch it. Everyone should. But as I was watching it, it struck me very hard that I needed to share with you. And then, you know what? It just dawned on me. Just had an afterthought. I didn't discover what I'm about to show you until after yesterday. Okay, aha moment right here on camera. Okay, there you go. This is how it works for me, people. You got to share it with me because I literally didn't put this together. I found this image, or was told to look at this image and check it out after I felt that pause and after I spoke to people and just decided to wait. So anyways, here we go. Okay. I researched 5G. It's on its way. It's coming very aggressively. There's an agenda, and I really, really felt the spirit behind this agenda. It was as if I could see him. I could sense him, and this spirit is aggressive and strong and is going to get this pushed through. There won't be any stopping it. It's supposed to happen. And of course, none of this is about being afraid. It's just about being informed. I was struck really hard about the aggressiveness of this spirit that's behind this new technology and the information that Ashley proposed on how it's going to affect us. And we're already having, detrimental effects from the radioactivity that's emitted off of these devices already. And it's going to get exponentially worse with 5G. And it just struck me, 5G. There's really no way to survive for very long with this type of radiation floating through the air from everything that I saw in that video. So the first thing that struck me is time is shorter than we think. It's shorter than I thought. And I'm looking at it as pretty short. I mean, pretty short. Okay? Like, I'm not going to give you a timeline of any kind because I don't have one. None of us do. But just that urgency that it's shorter than we thought. And I'm going to show you a picture now. This came to me after the fact, and as you just saw, it was, that's what was holding me up, I guess. So anyways, yeah, I'm not always like, privy to this ahead of time. Matter of fact, most times I'm not. It just comes. So yesterday after that fact, and I got this strong impression to share with you that it is time to stop playing around with anything that is of this world that is holding you back, even a sliver, even the smallest, tiniest thing. And this also ties into what I'm going through right now as well, which I will share with you afterwards. I want to get this picture up. And afterwards, I was just directed by the Holy Spirit, I guess you could say, to go to the Hopi rock and look at the Hopi rock, the diagram. And if you're not familiar with this, look through Derek's videos, research out the Hopi prophecy rock yourself. But anyways, get prepared for my high tech here, because this is how I do screen sharing. It's all I can do. I don't have anything else. Okay, so I'm just going to hold this up there so you can show it. Now you can get online and you can research this. There's tons of pictures of this rock. But something told me about the end of this prophecy, which is basically the end of all the ages. And they prophesied this. Okay, there's many things to this rock, much more than what I'm touching on. But this was what was brought to me. Do you see the jagged points right at the end there? Those people on the top are basically walking in the broken way, the way of technology, the way of the world. Those are the people living in the world. And this technology is dragging them away from the earth and not to it. And this is something that the Hopi, they talk about. But if you look at the end of that technology walk, and it's a jagged line that looks very frayed and kind of like it just goes out and then it's just the end. Look at how many points are on there. And I know you can see the red dots. I did that on purpose. That's my drawing. That's not part of, I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So there's enough of that. You don't need to see it anymore. It tied into my heart, and I felt very clearly that image is stating that technology and the way the AI, all these things we've been talking about, this type of energy, is part of our demise. It's part of the control system. It's part of the matrix. And when I put that together, I realized that, did you see where that line is at? And I got to get my hands off the table. Sorry, we're having earthquakes again. Did you see where that line is at? It's at the very end. And when 5G gets initiated, that first point that I showed you, that first red point, the end is very, very close, closer than we think. And then it just stops. So that means calamity. That means end times. That means, whatever this process that is coming. And I don't have all the information on it. Derek is much clearer about this than I am. A lot of people have more information. That's not my job. My job is to sense and to feel and to see and to share. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm fairly convinced that that's what that is, at least in part. It's not entirely, but the Father is using it to show this to me. That is this new implement of this brand new technology. And once it's implemented, really be on your game, because there's not much time left after that. And that's what that means to me. Okay. And the other thing is that I wanted to implore you to stop playing games with the things of this world. And this is coming right back at me, because I always have to have a broken piece in myself that affects me so that I can go through it and see the end and then share it with you. This is another way that this thing that I do for the Father works. And I've mentioned it in other videos before. One of my weaknesses, my Achilles heel, is food. And it's not just any food. It's foods that are laden in empty and processed carbohydrates. I've been addicted to them for many years. It was a self-medication thing. And one day maybe I'll put a video on about my whole process and where I come from and why I am the way that I am and whatnot. But basically what it is that, and the last few weeks, I think it started in September or something, I had a party or something and I nibbled on some stuff I shouldn't have. And immediately, that flesh call kicked in. And I've just been pretty much eating things that I shouldn't. All along. And I knew it. The good thing about it was I was being taught that my body's been healed. It doesn't affect me like it used to. I've been strong. I've been healthy. My body is healing because of my connection with my Father from being in this right-minded place. And so that was the good part of it. Once again, duality. The bad part of it was that I decided, I knew that this was something I needed to stop because it was interfering with my communication with you and my Father, and I can't have that, won't have that. I will do this mission regardless. If it takes my life, I will do it. End of story. So I knew, and I decided that this Monday I was going to get back on the bandwagon, fast for 3 days, and just completely clean out my system. And I knew it would feel terrible because I've done it before many times, but this time is different because of this information that came to me. I knew that this time I just really had to clean the closet and see this evil presence, processed sugar, processed flours, for what it is. It's another control mechanism by the Matrix. What you eat has a lot to do with how much access the darkness has to controlling you and moving you in directions you shouldn't go. So I knew it was important that I had to do this. And I'll tell you, I have never experienced anything like this. I've detoxed in my body and been sick, had headaches, cranky, irritable, cravings up the wazoo. Those were there, mild, I have to admit, mild, but other things have been taking place. And it is major confirmation to me that this is exactly what this whole message is about today. Time is shorter than you think. Strip yourself of every little thing that holds you to this earth. If it isn't from the Father, if it does not fall under the law of love, if it conflicts with what the Holy Spirit tells you, don't do it. Period. Fight it with everything in you. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm only on day 2. And day 2 is not so bad. Day 3 usually kicks my butt. My cravings are through the roof. And any of you that have problems with addiction, you can totally understand what detoxing and addiction symptoms are like. And I have those pretty severely. So it's going to be tough. But you know what? I am bent. Excuse me. It's getting cold. I'm bent on this being my last dance with that dark shadow. And this is what I wanted to share with you. This is the whole thing that I wanted to share with you. And once again, I thought it was going to be short. No, it's not short. It's never short with me. I just, like I said, gift of the gab. But anyways, that's it in a nutshell, okay? This thing is coming, and 5G is a huge part of it. The other part of that, it just popped into my head, I almost forgot, was that in order for us to continue to communicate with each other and with our Father on these frequencies that we do, this 5G thing has to be dismantled at some point, because watch Ashley's video. It's going to take people out quickly. It's going to start affecting people quickly. And she talks about, basically a pandemic that it's going to cause. And the CDC is going to come in and say, oh, this is a virus. Here, everybody take this vaccine. Where did we just see some information that was posted? I'm not sure if it was on one of Derek's videos or someone else. Honestly, I can't remember. But talked about this vaccine that they're going to be giving people to basically shut down your pineal gland is what it is. It shuts down your ability to communicate religiously, spiritually. That's what they call it, religiously, of course. And what it is they think that it's something that someone came up to be helpful to stop religious fanatics from going around killing people. They're going to spread this out in the air. And I read that somewhere or watched it somewhere, and it was very, very chilling as well. This is all tied into it, all of it. So what's going to have to happen to stop that 5G? The only thing that can happen that is a collapse. Economic, electronic grid. We've heard information from Naughty Beaver, from Rex, from Jeff, from Derek. All of them are speaking about this event that's coming that is basically going to throw us into this cataclysmic scenario. No fear. This is not about fear. This is just about knowing. I feel very strongly when that 5G gets kicked in, it's like I got to see into the agenda of that spirit, kind of like in the movie Lord of the Rings, when, I can't remember which one it is, if it's Merry or Pippin. It's Pippin, I think, is the little turkey. He picks up the Eye of Sauron, and when he picks it up, he can see. He sees things. All of a sudden, he sees into the enemy's mind. That's kind of how it was for me. When that 5G kicks in, time is going to be much shorter than you think. So it's time to give those things up. Press into the truth. Press into your Father. Press into each other. I love you guys so much. And yeah, ears are ringing. I've got my hair is standing on end. Chills. I can't believe in this video how much the Father is interacting with me as I speak to you. This is good. This is good. This is truth. I love you all very much. Pay heed to it. If you have any questions, ask me. If I have the time and the resources, I will get to them. And once again, if you need any information, ask me what it is. If I can find it, I'll get it to you. I'll do the best that I can. I love you, and heed this information. Well, that was a lot. And now I get to drink my cold coffee, but you know what? It was worth it because I love you, and this is what I was made to do. So you have yourselves a great day, and I will talk to you very soon. Probably tomorrow.